Blessings. Welcome to today's Law Enforcement Daily Devotional. We're in Numbers today, chapters 3 and 4. And right towards the end, I've got this law enforcement takeaway that I want to propose to you and see if you think that it fits. So I have this thing where I believe that there are so many similarities and parallels between the Levites and law enforcement today. And as I continue to read and study the Bible throughout the years, this thought seems to just get confirmed. It continues to build as an argument of the parallels and just our service compared to their service. There's just so many things, but I want to get to one of those questions towards the end. So let's start in chapter 3. The census continues. Moses, at the direction of God, had counted the tribes of Israel, the 12 tribes. And we saw on the map yesterday how they were positioned around the tent and how they each had their assignments, whether it be east, north, south, or west. They all had their positions and places to be. We saw the numbers, the biggest tribes versus the smallest tribes. So today he counts the Levites. And he doesn't count them for military service. We know that. He counts them for their service to the temple, for their service as Levites, and for their service to the Lord. So he divides the Levites into 3 clans. And these 3 clans, the heads of these 3 clans, are the children of Aaron. And the first clan is called the Gershonites. The second one is the Kohathites, and the third is the Merarites. Merarites. And if you're a theologian and I'm saying this wrong, go ahead and shoot me an email and let me know so next time I don't butcher these names. But the Gershonites had 7,500 Levites in their clan, and they camped on the west side. Now, yesterday I showed the map. Where is that? I showed this, and I got a little ahead of myself because I was telling where Moses and Aaron camped, and they camped on the east side. But just saw that and got excited and blurted it out. But that wasn't really revealed until today's read. Moses and Aaron camp on the east side. The Gershonites camp on the west side. The Kohathites camp on the south side, and the Merarites camp on the north side. Korah on the south, Merah on the north. So they also have 4 positions around the tabernacle, or the tent of meeting. And it's interesting that when they get up and travel, and I may be jumping ahead again and saying something tomorrow, but the Levites will carry, when they break camp up and they start to travel, the Levites lead with the Ark of the Covenant, and they're in front of this first group that's on the east of Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. And then the Gershites and the Merarites carry the tabernacle and all its pieces, and they're in between the Judah line and the Reuben line of soldiers. And then after the Reuben line of soldiers, the Kohathites carry the tabernacle furnishings, followed up by the Ephraimites and the Danites and all of their soldiers as they march. So I mean, this was with military precision. Everybody had their position. Everybody knew what their job was, and it would be like a gigantic parade where you've got probably close to 500,000 soldiers and Levites marching as they moved the tabernacle and went from one place to the other. It would have been really impressive. Even to the point where we'll see later on that a prophet is called, as the Israelites are marching through, is called up on the hill and asked to curse the Israelites. And he says, I can't curse them. And his name's Balaam, but we'll read about him later. But just know this parade of soldiers and military, this army, would have been really impressive. So Moses was also told or tasked to count the firstborn. and the firstborn males, and it equaled 22,273. There were 22,000 Levites. And it's real interesting how this census takes place and how many numbers there were in this camp. But jumping down to chapter 4, while I've got a few minutes left, it talks about the Levites and their service. And the Levites would serve in the temple and serve, just like we were talking about, some would carry temple furnishings, some would carry the ark, some would carry, the cloth that makes the tent. And they all had specific duties in the temple. But a Levite would serve from the time he was 30 to the time he was 50. So he served for 20 years exactly. Now, when I started law enforcement, it was 20 and out. You served 20 years and then you retired. And the Levites, very similar. And I love this thought of a male or a female from 20 to 30, when they're still young and growing and impressionable and still gung-ho and full of fire, and maybe not quite filled with the amount of wisdom that an older person is. I even hate saying that a little bit, but from 20 to 30 serving a term in the military, and then from 30 to 50 serving in law enforcement. What would that look like in today's society? Anyway, it seemed to work for the Israelites. So 20 and out, Levites and law enforcement. As we go along, I would like to hear what you see as far as parallels or maybe arguments against Levites and law enforcement being on a similar path. Anyway, email FCPO at fcpo.org, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. In the meantime, you guys be safe out there. We're going to read Numbers 5 and 6. So read up on that before you come back tomorrow, and let's see what we find out from that one.